A lot of us have goals for 2026, and your goals might be breaking all the bad habits and addictions that you have. And in this video, I'm going to explain the 6 most common bad habits and addictions that most people have, and exactly step by step how to break them, and how I helped over 100 people in our free community to break those for good. So the first bad habit or addiction that we need to explain is porn. And before I explain this, I need to explain to you the difference between bad habits and addictions. A bad habit is something that is bad for you, that you know it's bad for you, that you can stop whenever you want. And there's no relapsing. Now, if you try to stop any of the 6 that I'm about to explain, but you were unsuccessful, you kept relapsing over and over again, then this is not a bad habit, it's an addiction, okay? So the first one is porn. Well, how do we break this damn thing? Because a lot of us are so addicted to it for many years, and we tried so many things: willpower, discipline, monk mode, challenges, nofap, you name it, but we kept relapsing. What's the damn solution? You read a million books about it, you watched a million YouTube videos about it. You couldn't for the life of you to solve it. I have a solution, and it works. So what you need to look at is porn is solving something for you. It's soothing something for you. It's good, not watching it, but the emotions that it's giving you, it's good for your mental pain. You have a mental pain that porn is soothing. And instead of us fighting this, we need to work with it. So the way you need to work with it is asking yourself, what are the good feelings that watching it is bringing to me? Is it relief? Is it relaxation, validation? What is the good feelings that it brings to you? Maybe it's all these 3, maybe more, maybe less. You gotta ask yourself, what are the good feelings that this thing is bringing to you? Now, once we find those, we need to ask ourselves, what do I usually feel when it comes to bad feelings? What do I usually feel before or when this urge of watching porn appears? What do I usually feel like? What are the bad feelings that I feel when the urge comes in? Once you identify the bad feelings, that's when the good feelings, your brain is craving those good feelings to soothe those bad feelings. And that's where your brain defaults to porn, because it was programmed for many years that this substance, or this activity, actually, it's not a substance, it's an activity. This activity is bringing me those good feelings that soothe those bad feelings. So now you're gonna ask yourself, why am I feeling those bad feelings in the first place? This is the right solution to do it. The dopamine detox and the challenges and all of that, they're trying to solve the cause, the effect, not the cause. We need to solve the root cause here. And for us to solve the root cause, we gotta dig deep. So you have bad feelings, you're experiencing bad feelings from certain things that you experience from reality. Sometimes you start imagining or remembering things that brings you those bad feelings that makes you want to soothe them. And your brain defaults to this activity because it was trained and programmed that this activity gives this good feelings that soothe this bad feeling. Okay? So once you find what bad feelings you feel, well, you gotta ask yourself, why am I feeling those in the first place? What's going on? Why am I interpreting these pieces of information from reality or imagination or memory as something that brings me those bad feelings? Now, the solution or the answer can be 2 things. It can be trauma. It can be trauma. Or it can be certain situations. So it can be certain situation that makes you sad. Maybe, let's say that one of your family members very close to you died in an accident, for example, God forbid. Now, this is a situation that brings you a lot of bad feelings. And when that event happened, your brain started searching for good feelings to soothe it. Now, there are multiple things. The best one is to go and talk to someone about it. But Most people, they don't like to talk about the bad feelings that they're feeling, so they revert to substances like smoking, like drugs, etc., or activities such as sport. So you gotta ask yourself, like, do I have this, or do I have this, or maybe both? Now, trauma, I can make a whole 1-hour video about trauma. But what you gotta understand is that trauma, it's not something like it's war or pandemic or any of that. It's gonna be a childhood wound, a childhood trauma. Something happened in the past that you haven't realized that it's still stuck within you, and it's still giving you the bad feelings because it happened in the past, and it's still bringing you those bad feelings. And that's when your brain is wanting to soothe them and is defaulting to this activity. I can make a whole video about trauma because it's a very complex topic and it's a very deep topic, and I can't explain this video, but if you're interested, comment below and I will make another video for it. So that's part. You gotta find the root cause. What's the bad feelings that I'm feeling, and why am I feeling them in the first place? Okay, this one to check. The next one is, a lot of you have it, I'm assuming, is gaming. Now, if gaming is not something you're addicted to, then you can skip to point 3. But for those who is addicted to gaming, gaming can be gaming on your phone, it can be gaming on your computer or your console, a PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. Now, the solution for you to be able to actually quit this is 2 things: perspective and an alternative. So perspective, P, and alternative. So the first one is perspective. What I mean by perspective is I want to shift your perspective towards gaming. The reason, especially men or young men, they are addicted to gaming, such as me when I was young, is because we lack the feeling of progress. We want to feel the feeling of progress, and video games are the perfect source of progress. We do an action and we immediately level up, we unlock new things, we make virtual money on it. There's a feeling of progress at whatever action that we take. And the most prone people to be addicted to video games are actually entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs, people just starting out. And because they're just starting out, they have no idea what they're doing. They keep failing. They try and they keep failing. So they're not feeling progress. So they're way more prone to actually going and playing video games and get addicted to it because their brain is getting the feeling of progress. So this is the first one. You gotta understand this perspective. If you're addicted to gaming, it's because you're lacking the feeling of progress. And now we can have an alternative. So what you're gonna ask yourself is, what are other things that I can do that can immediately brings me the feeling of progress? That's why you're addicted to video games, because you do an action, you get a reward immediately. You like, there's this evil big monsters that you would need to slay, and once you slay it, you level up and you make money and you save people, whatever video game you play. So you gotta switch the alternative. So when you feel the urge to play video games, you gotta understand that, wait a minute, I'm wanting to play video game because I want to feel progress in my life. So what's something else that I can do that can give me progress or give me the feeling of progress? Find something healthy that you can do to bring you progress, such as maybe reading books. Now, yes, you may say that reading books is very boring, but if you read just one page and learn one new thing, this is a progress. And if you force yourself to do it just for a few days, you'll start getting that same feeling of progress that you get from video games. And that's where you created an alternative for video games. That's how you can quit it. Again, it's not discipline. It's not forcing yourself. It's having a new perspective and changing the activity, such as porn. Okay, gaming is done. The next one is social media. There are a lot of videos on YouTube on how to decrease your social media by 80%, delete these apps, have these blockers, do this, do that. There's plenty of videos. And they're getting millions of views because a lot of people are noticing that they're wasting so many hours every single day on social media. And if you don't believe me, I don't know how you can do it on an Android, but if you have an iPhone, go to settings, go to screen time, and look at the average. I bet you, if you use your phone a lot, I bet you that your screen time is between 6 to 10 hours. And the top most used apps are probably YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Maybe, if not one of these, maybe another one, it can be Snapchat. It's always these apps. Okay, how the hell do we break this addiction? And yes, it is an addiction. Social media, it is an addiction. And if you don't believe me, if you don't believe that they are an addiction, delete the apps. If you use Instagram for 4 hours a day, go ahead and delete it right now. You can't. And your brain will give you a million reasons for not to do it. Oh, because I'm chatting with my friends. Give them your number and let them message you on iMessage or WhatsApp. Oh, but I'm following these people, they're helping me with my business. No, they're not. And if you genuinely need the information from them, they are probably selling some course or something. So go buy it or go learn, go find it on the internet for free. Or if you can't possibly find that information, log in from your Instagram account, from your computer, consume the specific content that you need, and then log out. There's always a solution. But your brain is going to create so many excuses because it's addicted to it. So it's an addiction. If you're able to delete them and never use them again, then that's not an addiction, and you can skip this point. But for those who are using their phone for 6-10 hours every single day, and they're unable and they feel this feeling of resistance when someone tells them to delete the apps, I have a solution for you. And no, the solution is not to delete the apps. No. Cold turkey your way into anything doesn't work. Believe me, I tried. So how do we how do we quit using social media? Well, first of all, I want to give you a perspective. This is an R, it's not a P. This is a P. A lot of people say that social media is good because it's connecting people around the world, and this is true. But what they actually mean is not social media, but messaging apps. You gotta distinguish between messaging apps like WhatsApp or Telegram and social media apps that you can post content and you can watch content like Instagram, like TikTok, YouTube, etc. Okay, so we need to distinguish between these two. The messaging apps, you can't get addicted to the messaging apps. It's just another form of communication. Okay, so this is a side. So what you're actually addicted to is the consumption of content. And if we want to actually talk about the root cause, you're addicted to the consumption of emotion. You're addicted to the consumption of emotions. Now, I can make a whole video about this and why is this true, but let me break down this exactly how this works. So what you need to do, the best way that I found, and I helped over 100 people to quit social media in my free community. You can check it out in the link in the description. But the way I was able to help them with this is not by deleting the apps, but by simply creating a gamification process by removing the people that they are following or subscribe to that they don't consume their content. So if on Instagram you have like 1,000 people that you're following, it's impossible for you to be watching their content every single day. And there's probably a lot of them, more than half, that you actually forgot about them. You don't consume their content. So just go to your Instagram account and just unfollow. And make it a game, like actually enjoy it, like every single day, actually enjoy doing it. Like cleaning your account, simplifying it, like minimalization, I think this is a word. Just simplify it and gamify it. Actually make it a game. Enjoy the process of decreasing the amount of followers that you have. And yes, I know a lot of people, they think that if you have a lot of followers, that means more social proof. So like it's gonna give you the good feelings. But I'm not talking about followers, I'm talking about following. Okay? I'm talking about the people you are following. So just gamify this. Now, once you start removing those, every single day, just remove the ones that you don't consume their content at all. Now, at the same time, C, for content, you got to stop watching short form content and only consume long form. I'm not gonna tell you to delete the apps. I'm just gonna tell you to watch long form content for now. Just stop watching short form content. They're way more addictive, and they are truly, truly disastrous for your brain. Let me explain to you why in a few, maybe 10, 20 seconds. You're scrolling through emotions, not content, on short form content. And the shorts or the reels that you're watching on these platforms, they're the reels or like the TikToks that are going viral. And the reason they're going viral is because they evoke a lot of emotion. Now, the algorithm is smart. If it shows you content that evokes the same emotion, for example, funny, you will get bored because all the content is funny. But what the algorithm does is that they show you a video of like a funny video, and then a video that makes you sad, and a video that makes you angry, and then another video that makes you happy, and then another funny video. It keeps giving you different emotions, and our brain is not able to interpret a lot of different emotions in a very short period of time. And this makes the people depressed. It makes them have anxiety. It makes them are not able to control their emotions. So you gotta stop watching short form content and just consume long form content. And the less amount of effects and music in the video, the better. For example, watching podcasts. I've talked about this in the past. Watching podcasts is actually very beneficial. A, you're learning things, and B, there's a lot of effects and a lot of music and all of that, so it's helpful for your attention span. Okay? So while you are removing the creators that you're not consuming their content, while you're doing that, force yourself to watch just long form content. Now, once you do that, you will eventually reach to a point where you have only the people that you are consuming their content on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. Now, for those, start switching them with people that actually can benefit you reaching your goal. So for example, if you want to start a business, instead of following people that just funny, that are funny and they're wasting your time, yes, you enjoy watching them, but replace them with people that actually can benefit you. Okay? So just unfollow those and immediately find someone else that can benefit you, that you enjoy watching the content, and follow them. And every day do this until all of the people that you are actually consuming their content actually are benefiting you. And you're only consuming the long form content. That way, social media is now good because now it's helping you reach your goal. So no cold turkey here, no discipline, no willpower. All right, this is social media, done. Next one. This is something that I was surprised, but a lot of people do it. Nail biting. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. If you do this, if you bite your nail, if you don't bite your nail, then you can skip to point number 5. But if you do, just watch these few seconds. Whenever you catch yourself biting your nails, try to ask yourself, what am I feeling? Most of the time, it's anxiety. Now, I can't tell you to stop being anxious. This is a stupid advice. I'm not going to tell you that. What you need to ask yourself is, why are you feeling anxious? Oh, because I have this, and that. Well, what's going on? Let's try to solve it. And let's be confident and calm with solving it, because anxiety is not going to help you do anything. Okay? So let me give you an example for one of my friends. So I have a friend who wants to start a business. And every time we talk about business and new strategy and all of that, I catch him biting his nails. So I ask him, why don't you stop? He tells me that whenever I feel anxious, I stop biting my nails. Okay, well, why are you feeling anxious? Because I'm not sure that the business will work. Well, let's work on that. Now, I can't give you a specific advice because you can be anxious about a million things, or every single person can be anxious about the different things. So I can't give you a specific advice, but what you need to do is find the thing that you're anxious about and solve the damn thing. Instead of keep biting your nails. It's a very disgusting habit, by the way. If you're going out with a girl and she sees you biting your nails, that's gonna turn her off. If you're a man, or if you're a woman and you're biting your nails, oh my God, just don't do it. All right, biting your nails. Now, of course, you might be feeling something else, something different than anxiety when you bite your nails. Find the emotion, find the root cause, and solve it. Okay, I can't give you a step-by-step solution. So, nail biting is done. Next one is overthinking. There we go. Okay, so overthinking. A lot of people do that. A lot of people start overthinking situations. One example can be you interacting with a group of people or with someone, and then later on in the same day, you start imagining you doing different actions, you saying different things, you imagining a different, better scenario. Now, whenever you see yourself overthinking about stuff like this, you gotta ask yourself, why am I doing this? Now, overthinking can be two things. It can be overthinking past situations, or it can be overthinking future situations. Let's talk about both. So past situations is the situation that I've just talked about. You interacted with people, and then later on, like a few hours later, you start wishing you've done something better. You start wishing you've said something better. Now, the reason you do this is because you're trying to create this self-image of yourself in front of others that does not exist. And you think that your current self-image is not good enough. Now, what you gotta understand that this is not true. Again, this goes back into perspective. As you can see, we've talked about perspective here, we talked about a perspective here, we talked about perspective here, and also here. Because perspective is the main thing that you need to shift, how you look at the problem. And shifting your perspective about how you look at the problem will allow you to solve it. So, in the past situations that you've done, what's the perspective that needs to be done? You're gonna ask yourself, why am I thinking about these past scenarios? Why am I imagining better versions? Like, what's wrong with my current version? I think they thought of me like this because I've done that. Well, but that's an assumption. So, for the overthinking is going to be a cold turkey thing. There's no step-by-step path, like for social media, for example. It's just a shift of perspective. The reason you overthink past situations is because you're imagining different and better scenarios, because you think that your current self-image is not good enough. It is good enough. And you can improve it, but don't feel bad emotions about what you've already done. Think about the past, learn from it, and improve. Just don't hit yourself with it. Don't feel bad about it. Learn from the mistakes and improve. But just gotta understand that your current version is the best version yet. Now, for future situations, again, we have a perspective here. It is extremely normal for you to worry about the future. Now, I can give you a perspective when it comes to business, okay? Because that's where my expertise are. A lot of people, when they want to start a business, they think of a problem that would happen 6 months from now. And they start overthinking these situations. For example, they don't have any clients and they start overthinking about, well, how can I collect testimonials from clients? You have no idea how to get a client. You have no idea how to bring them results, let alone to think about how to get testimonials from them. What I'm trying to say here is that starting a business is like driving a car in the dark. Just focus on what you can, focus on the road that you can see. And don't worry about future problems. Solve them when they happen. Now you can tell me, well, I want to prevent them from happening. Okay, but that doesn't mean you worry about them. There's a difference. Overthinking, done. People pleasing, the last one. Oh yeah, a lot of people suffering from this. Pleasing. I was one of them, believe me. I was a yes person. I used to say yes all the fucking time. All the time. How the hell do you stop pleasing others? Well, people pleasing means saying yes all the time. And whenever someone asks you for something, whenever someone wants your help, you always say yes, even though that you want to say no. The solution for this is, why are you saying yes in the first place? Why can't you stop saying yes? This comes back to trauma. There's probably an event that happened in your childhood that made you want to please your parents. Maybe your parents didn't give you enough attention when you were a child, and this created a small trauma. And then your brain wanted to overplease them to get their attention. Now the thing with trauma is that it stays with you, it doesn't disappear. And this trauma is a good friend because it tries to help you, but it's a stupid good friend because it doesn't know that you're now an adult. So it's still trying to protect you. So for me, for my example, a lot of people, like I was always saying yes all the time. Someone came from the airport, even though the airport is very far away from where I live, I say yes. And I go pick them up and I drop them off, and then I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I trying to please everyone? Why am I saying yes? Just asking yourself why, and then you need to you gotta find the root cause. Sorry guys, this has been a long video. We're almost done. But you gotta ask yourself why. What happened that made me want to please others? What am I trying to prove? Well, nothing. If you ask yourself this question, what are you trying to prove? Really nothing. So just having this shifter in perspective, again, all of these before, is gonna make you, oh, wait a minute, like I'm not trying to prove anything. So now, between stimulus and response, there lies a space, and now you have control over this space. So between stimulus, which is someone asking you for something, and response, you saying yes, there lies a space, and this space lies your freedom. Now when you have this shift in perspective, by asking yourself, what am I trying to prove to others? Nothing. Now, when you say nothing, when you actually believe it's nothing, now you have this space between stimulus and response. And this space will allow you to think and say no. And the same thing goes for saying no. If you're someone who says no all the time, you might need to change this. You might need to start saying yes sometimes, because anything taken to its extreme will become its opposite. These are the 6 habits that you need to break. My name is Safwan Bayok. I run a free community to help everyone to break free from any addiction and bad habit they have. If you're interested, check the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.